Alex Neil, how do you start to dissect what you've just seen?
I think it's difficult, I think conceding 6 goals is never nice. I think everybody is really frustrated and disappointed. I think the game really sort of split into two, offensively and defensively. I thought offensively we looked a real threat, scored 2 goals, hit the post twice, could have scored some more. But defensively as a group, I thought we were poor. And we got hurt in sort of the counter-attack. We tried to force issue in the second half, really. The game at 3-2. I think at half-time it could have been 5 each, the way the game was going. But we knew we were going to come, they were going to be open. And it's one of them, do you try and sit in and defend that, or do you go and try and attack and see how the game sort of pans out? And at that stage with 3-2, I felt if we got the next goal, we could have went on and won the game. I think we started the second half really well. But obviously we conceded that goal, and then I made the decision to take Alex off. Because at that stage we're losing anyway, so there's no point trying to sort of safeguard what you've got because you haven't got anything, and it cost us a couple of goals after that, so I'll take responsibility for that. But I think the squad know and the players know they're going to have to take responsibility for the fact that as a group we didn't defend anywhere near well enough.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. It's noticeable when Tetty went off, it became even more open, didn't it, the game, and that's when Newcastle really pressed home the big win. Yeah,
but the one thing I will say, since I've been here, I've done the type of substitutions on certain occasions, away from home and at home, and we've went and managed to get the next goal and got ourselves back into the game and even got a win out of it or got points out of it. But unfortunately that wasn't the case and it backfired. But as I say, that's a decision I make, and I'll take that in the chin.
How alarmed were you by the repetitive nature of the Newcastle goals? So many of them were quick counter-attacks and you couldn't do anything about it.
It's not that we couldn't do anything about it, we just didn't stop it in the first instance. When the ball broke out, our starting position wasn't good enough, and then when it did break, I think we struggled one-on-one defending against some of the other players basically. I think we counter-attacked them and quite a lot on occasions scored 2 goals off counter-attacks as well. And I think one-on-one they defended better than what we did, and we struggled to deal with that today.
How do you react to a game like that as a manager? Do you have to give your players some real home truths, or do you just have to write it off as a game where they've played uncharacteristically poorly and lost as heavy as they ever have done?
I think they get home truths after every game. Whether we've played well or not played well, so that will remain the same. So we'll go through it, and I'll pick out the bits that were poor and I'll pick out the bits that were good, and we'll try and improve on the bits that were good, and certainly make sure we try and improve on the bits that were poor. It's difficult after a game like that. I don't think that it's easy to say it shouldn't have been a 6-2 scoreline, but when you defend as poorly as that, it's always going to be tough.
And it's something you always pride yourself on, and we've seen all the time you've been Norwich manager, being well organised, being difficult to break down, and that just wasn't the case today.
No, I can't argue with that. So yeah, it was. We looked disjointed at times. I think the game was spread so much. I think we had so many players up the pitch, but when you're going searching for that goal, it's difficult to be there and be back there. And I think with the pace that they had in the counter attack, that really caused us some issues.
You've been pretty loyal to the defenders that got you up from the Championship. Do you have to look at that?
Yeah, I have to look at everything. I have to look at everything. First thing I'll do is look at obviously the decisions I made, the team that I picked, and then what I'll do is I'll make sure I look at the game and have a look at how the players performed and as if they merit to get their place next week.